if you could give one piece of advice to a team struggling to get this recognition, what would it be?
Yeah, because I've been there, so I know what it's like to try to sort of kind of break through the noise. And there's so much information being shared around an organization, irregardless of how big the company is. There's just a lot of data out there. So, I think it kind of starts with sort of the notion of not waiting for a seat, at the table. You kind of have to interject yourself. And I'm not saying immediately start sending reports to your CEO, but I think it's important to start, taking initiative and trying to curate some of this information in a way that makes sense for different audiences. And so I think finding those moments to kind of insert insight into conversation that matters is certainly important. I think also just trying to have an understanding and sort of like the ability to sort of package up your wins historically and like demonstrate that value that you've shown to certain teams, and then kind of socializing those outcomes or those cool case studies and impact stories internally. That makes the value of the work visible, but it's but it's also a way to sort of unearth the capability a little bit more. And then also like finding and sort of identifying those internal champions. We have plenty here at KDP, which is great. And they're obviously super helpful advocates of what we're doing. But I think finding sort of those influential people internally can help amplify the work. And then I don't think it hurts to sort of go out and borrow and get inspiration from other teams, whether that is internally, within the org. Maybe there's some teams there that have like a kind of gold standard for how they are recognized as a top contributor. So it's like borrowing their templates or looking at what they send in their emails or trying to understand the stakeholders that they're working directly with and the audiences they may have internally to try to sort of compare to what you would want to achieve. And then I think outside of the organization is equally as important. I'm part of a lot of different groups within the social intelligence space where we share and exchange information exactly like this. And so I think the notion of networking with peers that work in the industry and trying to understand what were their key wins and how did they get to where they were, that goes a long way.
Yeah. Success definitely leaves clues. I'm a product of learning from individuals that are smarter and better at this than I am. Specifically the early adopters of the niche fire tool, right?